Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. Book by James Clear. Detailed summary. Chapter 1, The Surprising Power of Atomic Habits. The chapter begins by explaining that small changes, or atomic habits, can lead to significant improvements in our lives over time. The author argues that many people focus too much on achieving grand, dramatic goals and overlook the power of small, consistent habits. Clear explains that habits are the building blocks of our lives and that our behaviors and choices shape our identity over time. He introduces the concept of habit stacking, which involves linking a new habit to an existing habit to create a chain of actions that becomes automatic over time. Clear also introduces the idea of the plateau of latent potential, which is the point at which we stop seeing progress despite continuing to work toward our goals. He suggests that the key to overcoming this plateau is to focus on making small improvements consistently over time. The chapter concludes by emphasizing the importance of focusing on systems and processes rather than just setting goals. Clear argues that by focusing on the daily habits and behaviors that will lead to achieving our goals, we can make sustainable progress and ultimately achieve long-term success. Overall, Chapter 1 of Atomic Habits highlights the importance of small habits and consistent action in achieving significant improvements in our lives. It introduces key concepts such as habit stacking and the plateau of latent potential, and emphasizes the importance of focusing on systems and processes rather than just setting goals. Chapter 2, How Your Habits Shape Your Identity, and Vice Versa. Chapter 2 begins by exploring the relationship between habits and identity. Clear argues that our habits shape our identity by influencing our beliefs, values, and self-image. He suggests that we often act in ways that are consistent with our identity and that our identity is, in turn, shaped by our habits. Clear introduces the idea of an identity-based habit, which is a habit that is aligned with our desired identity. He argues that changing our identity and self-image can be a powerful way to change our habits, as we are more likely to act in ways that are consistent with our desired identity. The chapter also explores the role of environment in shaping our habits and identity. Clear suggests that our physical surroundings and social context can influence our behavior and that making changes to our environment can help us establish and reinforce new habits. Clear concludes the chapter by highlighting the importance of identity in the process of habit change. He argues that by focusing on creating an identity that is aligned with our desired habits, we can make lasting changes and achieve greater success in our lives. Overall, Chapter 2 of Atomic Habits emphasizes the importance of the relationship between habits and identity. It introduces the concept of an identity-based habit and explores the role of environment in shaping our behavior. The chapter highlights the importance of creating an identity that is aligned with our desired habits in order to achieve lasting change. Chapter 3, How to Build Better Habits in 4 Simple Steps. Chapter 3 begins by introducing the 4 steps of habit formation: cue, craving, response, and reward. Clear argues that by understanding these steps, we can create new habits and change existing ones more effectively. The chapter explores the role of cues in habit formation. Clear suggests that cues can be external, such as a location or a time of day, or internal, such as an emotion or a thought. He explains that identifying the right cues can make it easier to establish new habits. The chapter then moves on to craving, which is the second step of habit formation. Clear argues that creating a sense of desire or craving for the rewards of a habit can make it more likely that we will stick to it. Clear then discusses the third step of habit formation, which is the response or the actual behavior that we engage in. He suggests that making the response as easy as possible can help us establish new habits more effectively. Finally, the chapter explores the role of rewards in habit formation. Clear argues that rewards are important because they create a sense of pleasure and satisfaction that reinforces the habit. He suggests that finding intrinsic rewards, such as a sense of accomplishment, can be more effective than relying on external rewards, such as a treat. The chapter concludes by summarizing the 4 steps of habit formation and emphasizing the importance of making small changes consistently over time. Clear argues that by focusing on creating habits that are aligned with our goals and identity, we can make lasting changes and achieve greater success in our lives. Overall, Chapter 3 of Atomic Habits provides a detailed explanation of the 4 steps of habit formation: cue, craving, response, and reward. It explores the role of cues, craving, response, and rewards in establishing new habits, and emphasizes the importance of making small changes consistently over time. Chapter 4, The Man Who Didn't Look Right. Chapter 4 begins with a story about a soldier named PFC Alan Rowe who was tasked with detecting and disarming bombs during the Vietnam War. Rowe became known for his ability to spot the man who didn't look right, or someone who seemed out of place or suspicious. Clear uses this story to illustrate the concept of attention to detail and how it can be applied to habit formation. He argues that by paying attention to small details and making incremental improvements, we can create significant changes in our habits and lives. The chapter then explores the idea of the 2-minute rule, which suggests that by starting with a small habit that takes 2 minutes or less to do, we can build momentum and create a foundation for more significant habit changes. Clear also discusses the importance of habit tracking, which involves keeping a record of our habits and behaviors. He argues that habit tracking can help us identify patterns and make adjustments to our habits over time. The chapter concludes by emphasizing the importance of paying attention to small details and making incremental improvements in order to build better habits. Clear argues that by starting with small habits, tracking our progress, and focusing on the process of habit formation, we can achieve lasting change and ultimately reach our goals. Overall, Chapter 4 of Atomic Habits highlights the importance of attention to detail and the role it plays in habit formation. It introduces the concept of the 2-minute rule and habit tracking, and emphasizes the importance of focusing on small changes in order to create significant improvements in our habits and lives. Chapter 5, Make It Obvious. Chapter 5 begins by emphasizing the importance of making our desired habits obvious and easy to do. Clear argues that by making a habit visible and part of our environment, we are more likely to stick to it. The chapter explores several strategies for making habits more obvious, including environmental design, implementation intentions, and habit stacking. Environmental design involves shaping our physical environment in a way that makes our desired habits more visible and accessible. This can include placing reminders, cues, or visual prompts in our environment that remind us of our habits. Implementation intentions involve creating a specific plan for when and where we will perform a habit. By linking a habit to a specific context, we are more likely to follow through with it. Habit stacking involves linking a new habit to an existing one by identifying a specific trigger or cue that will prompt the new habit. This makes the new habit more automatic and easier to follow through with. Clear also discusses the role of social norms in habit formation, arguing that our behaviors are heavily influenced by the behaviors of those around us. By surrounding ourselves with people who have similar habits and goals, we can create a culture of positive habits and support each other in our habit formation. The chapter concludes by summarizing the importance of making habits obvious and providing practical strategies for doing so. Clear argues that by designing our environment, creating implementation intentions, habit stacking, and surrounding ourselves with positive social norms, we can make our desired habits more automatic and easier to follow through with. Overall, Chapter 5 of Atomic Habits emphasizes the importance of making habits obvious and provides practical strategies for doing so. It highlights the role of environmental design, implementation intentions, habit stacking, and social norms in creating positive habits, and argues that by making habits more visible and automatic, we can increase our chances of successfully sticking to them. Chapter 6, Make It Attractive. Chapter 6 begins by discussing the importance of making habits attractive in order to increase the likelihood of sticking to them. Clear argues that by adding a sense of pleasure or enjoyment to our habits, we are more likely to repeat them. The chapter explores several strategies for making habits more attractive, including temptation bundling, habit tracking, and gamification. Temptation bundling involves pairing an activity we enjoy with one that we need to do but may not enjoy as much. By linking a habit we want to develop with an activity we already find enjoyable, we can create a sense of pleasure and satisfaction around the habit. Habit tracking involves monitoring our progress and celebrating our successes along the way. This creates a sense of satisfaction and motivation to continue with the habit. Gamification involves adding an element of competition or challenge to our habits. This can include setting goals, creating a point system, or adding a social aspect to the habit. Clear also discusses the role of identity in habit formation, arguing that by identifying with a desired habit, we are more likely to stick to it. He suggests that we can shape our identity by adopting small changes in our habits and behaviors, which will eventually lead to a larger shift in our self-perception. The chapter concludes by summarizing the importance of making habits attractive and providing practical strategies for doing so. Clear argues that by adding a sense of pleasure or enjoyment to our habits, and by shaping our identity around our desired habits, we can increase our chances of successfully sticking to them. Overall, Chapter 6 of Atomic Habits emphasizes the importance of making habits attractive and provides practical strategies for doing so. It highlights the role of temptation bundling, habit tracking, gamification, and identity in creating positive habits, and argues that by adding pleasure and enjoyment to our habits and shaping our identity around our desired habits, we can increase our motivation to stick to them. Chapter 7, Make It Easy. Chapter 7 emphasizes the importance of making our desired habits easy to do in order to increase the likelihood of sticking to them. Clear argues that by reducing the effort required to perform a habit, we are more likely to repeat it. The chapter explores several strategies for making habits easier, including reducing the friction, simplifying the task, and using the 2-minute rule. Reducing friction involves removing any barriers or obstacles that might prevent us from performing a habit. This can include simplifying the environment, reducing the number of steps required to complete a task, or creating a clear and easy-to-follow plan. Simplifying the task involves breaking down a habit into smaller, more manageable steps. This can make a habit feel less overwhelming and easier to accomplish. The 2-minute rule involves starting a habit with a very small and easy action that can be completed in just 2 minutes. This can help to build momentum and create a sense of accomplishment, making it easier to continue with the habit. Clear also discusses the importance of environment in habit formation, arguing that our surroundings play a crucial role in shaping our behavior. He suggests that we can create an environment that supports our desired habits by making small changes in our physical space, such as rearranging furniture or adding visual cues. The chapter concludes by summarizing the importance of making habits easy and providing practical strategies for doing so. Clear argues that by reducing friction, simplifying the task, using the 2-minute rule, and creating a supportive environment, we can make our desired habits easier to perform and increase our chances of sticking to them. Overall, Chapter 7 of Atomic Habits emphasizes the importance of making habits easy and provides practical strategies for doing so. It highlights the role of reducing friction, simplifying the task, using the 2-minute rule, and creating a supportive environment in creating positive habits, and argues that by making habits easier to perform, we can increase our motivation to stick to them. Chapter 8, Make It Satisfying. Chapter 8 emphasizes the importance of making our desired habits satisfying in order to increase the likelihood of sticking to them. Clear argues that by adding a sense of pleasure or reward to our habits, we are more likely to repeat them. The chapter explores several strategies for making habits satisfying, including using reinforcement, celebrating small wins, and creating a sense of progress. Reinforcement involves rewarding ourselves for performing a habit. This can include tangible rewards, such as a treat or a small purchase, or intangible rewards, such as social recognition or a sense of accomplishment. Celebrating small wins involves acknowledging and celebrating the progress we make towards our desired habit, even if it is a small step. This can create a sense of satisfaction and motivation to continue with the habit. Creating a sense of progress involves measuring our progress and tracking our successes. This can help us to see the impact of our habits and create a sense of momentum towards our desired goal. Clear also discusses the importance of avoiding immediate gratification and instead focusing on delayed gratification. He suggests that by delaying gratification and focusing on long-term rewards, we can create a sense of purpose and motivation to continue with our habits. The chapter concludes by summarizing the importance of making habits satisfying and providing practical strategies for doing so. Clear argues that by using reinforcement, celebrating small wins, creating a sense of progress, and avoiding immediate gratification, we can make our desired habits more satisfying and increase our chances of sticking to them. Overall, Chapter 8 of Atomic Habits emphasizes the importance of making habits satisfying and provides practical strategies for doing so. It highlights the role of reinforcement, celebrating small wins, creating a sense of progress, and delayed gratification in creating positive habits, and argues that by making habits more satisfying, we can increase our motivation to stick to them. Chapter 9, The Secret to Self-Control. Chapter 9 explores the concept of self-control and how it relates to habit formation. Clear argues that self-control is not simply a matter of willpower or motivation, but rather a product of our environment and the systems we create to support our desired habits. The chapter discusses several strategies for improving self-control, including designing an environment that supports our desired habits, focusing on one habit at a time, and using implementation intentions. Designing an environment that supports our desired habits involves creating a physical and social space that makes it easy to perform the habit and difficult to perform the opposite behavior. This can involve removing temptations, creating visual cues, and enlisting the support of others. Focusing on one habit at a time involves prioritizing our habits and choosing one to focus on at a time. This can help us to avoid overwhelming ourselves with too many changes at once, and increase our chances of success. Using implementation intentions involves creating a specific plan for when and where we will perform our desired habit. This can help us to overcome obstacles and reduce decision fatigue by automating the process. Clear also discusses the importance of forgiveness and self-control, arguing that we should focus on progress rather than perfection and be kind to ourselves when we make mistakes. The chapter concludes by summarizing the importance of self-control in habit formation and providing practical strategies for improving it. Clear argues that by designing an environment that supports our desired habits, focusing on one habit at a time, using implementation intentions, and practicing forgiveness, we can improve our self-control and increase our chances of sticking to our habits. Overall, Chapter 9 of Atomic Habits emphasizes the importance of self-control in habit formation and provides practical strategies for improving it. It highlights the role of designing an environment that supports our desired habits, focusing on one habit at a time, using implementation intentions, and practicing forgiveness in creating positive habits, and argues that by improving our self-control, we can increase our motivation to stick to our habits. Chapter 10, How to Make a Habit Irresistible. Chapter 10 explores the concept of making habits irresistible and how it relates to habit formation. Clear argues that making a habit attractive and enjoyable is a key factor in creating lasting behavior change. The chapter discusses several strategies for making habits irresistible, including using temptation bundling, creating a habit contract, and using social accountability. Temptation bundling involves pairing a habit we want to do with a habit we enjoy doing. This can help make the desired habit more attractive by linking it with a pleasurable activity. Creating a habit contract involves making a clear commitment to the desired habit and setting specific consequences for not following through. This can help to create a sense of accountability and motivation to stick to the habit. Using social accountability involves sharing our habit goals with others and enlisting their support. This can create a sense of community and support, and increase our motivation to stick to the habit. Clear also discusses the importance of making a habit convenient and easy to do. He suggests that by reducing the friction associated with performing the habit, we can make it more appealing and increase our likelihood of doing it. The chapter concludes by summarizing the importance of making habits irresistible and providing practical strategies for doing so. Clear argues that by using temptation bundling, creating a habit contract, using social accountability, and making habits convenient, we can make our desired habits more appealing and increase our chances of sticking to them. Overall, Chapter 10 of Atomic Habits emphasizes the importance of making habits irresistible and provides practical strategies for doing so. It highlights the role of temptation bundling, habit contracts, social accountability, and convenience in creating positive habits, and argues that by making habits more attractive and enjoyable, we can increase our motivation to stick to them. Chapter 11, The Role of Family and Friends in Shaping Your Habits. Chapter 11 explores the role of family and friends in shaping our habits and how we can use our social environment to support positive behavior change. The chapter discusses the influence of our social groups on our habits, and how our friends and family can either support or hinder our desired behavior changes. Clear argues that our social environment can have a powerful impact on our habits, and that by surrounding ourselves with people who have similar goals and values, we can create a supportive environment that makes it easier to stick to our desired habits. The chapter also provides practical strategies for using our social environment to support our desired habits, including finding a supportive community, enlisting the help of an accountability partner, and creating a habit contract with family and friends. Finding a supportive community involves seeking out groups or individuals who share our goals and values and can provide encouragement and support. This can include joining a club, attending meetups or workshops, or even finding an online community. Enlisting the help of an accountability partner involves finding someone who can help us stay on track with our desired habit and hold us accountable. This can include a friend, family member, or even a coach or mentor. Creating a habit contract with family and friends involves making a clear commitment to our desired habit and enlisting the support of those around us. This can help to create a sense of accountability and motivation to stick to the habit. Clear also discusses the importance of setting boundaries and creating a supportive environment that makes it easy to stick to our desired habits. This can involve removing temptations and distractions, and creating a space that supports our desired behavior. The chapter concludes by summarizing the importance of our social environment in shaping our habits and providing practical strategies for using our social networks to support positive behavior change. Clear argues that by finding a supportive community, enlisting the help of an accountability partner, creating a habit contract with family and friends, and creating a supportive environment, we can increase our chances of sticking to our desired habits. Overall, Chapter 11 of Atomic Habits emphasizes the importance of our social environment in shaping our habits and provides practical strategies for using our social networks to support positive behavior change. It highlights the role of finding a supportive community, enlisting the help of an accountability partner, creating a habit contract, and creating a supportive environment in creating positive habits, and argues that by using our social environment to support our desired behavior changes, we can increase our motivation to stick to them. Chapter 12, How to Find and Fix the Causes of Your Bad Habits. Chapter 12 of Atomic Habits by James Clear is titled How to Find and Fix the Causes of Your Bad Habits. In this chapter, Clear emphasizes the importance of identifying the root causes of our bad habits in order to break them and replace them with positive ones. Clear argues that many bad habits are actually symptoms of deeper problems or root causes, and that by identifying and addressing these root causes, we can eliminate the bad habit altogether. He provides several examples of common bad habits and their root causes, such as overeating being a symptom of boredom or stress, and procrastination being a symptom of fear or self-doubt. To identify the root causes of our bad habits, Clear suggests asking ourselves a series of questions, such as what triggers this bad habit? And what emotion am I feeling when I engage in this habit? He also suggests tracking our behavior and habits to gain a better understanding of when and why we engage in them. Once we have identified the root causes of our bad habits, Clear provides several strategies for addressing them. One such strategy is to reframe our mindset and beliefs around the habit, such as reframing procrastination as an opportunity for creative thinking or problem solving. Another strategy is to replace the bad habit with a positive one that addresses the same root cause, such as going for a walk or practicing meditation to reduce stress instead of overeating. Clear also emphasizes the importance of designing our environment to support positive habits and eliminate triggers for bad ones. This can involve removing temptations or distractions, or creating a space that supports our desired behavior. Finally, Clear notes that breaking bad habits and creating positive ones is a process that requires patience, persistence, and self-compassion. He encourages readers to celebrate small wins along the way and to recognize that setbacks and mistakes are a natural part of the process. Overall, Chapter 12 of Atomic Habits provides practical strategies for identifying the root causes of our bad habits and replacing them with positive ones. It emphasizes the importance of reframing our mindset, designing our environment, and being patient and self-compassionate throughout the process. By identifying and addressing the root causes of our bad habits, we can create lasting behavior change and achieve our desired goals. Chapter 13, The Habits of Olympic Athletes, and What You Can Learn from Them. Chapter 13 of Atomic Habits by James Clear is titled The Habits of Olympic Athletes, and What You Can Learn from Them. In this chapter, Clear examines the habits and routines of Olympic athletes and how they can be applied to achieve success in any area of life. Clear begins by emphasizing the importance of small habits and incremental improvements in achieving success. He notes that Olympic athletes often focus on making small improvements in their training and performance over time, rather than trying to make drastic changes all at once. Clear then identifies several key habits and routines that are common among Olympic athletes, including setting clear goals, creating a detailed plan, and visualizing success. He notes that Olympic athletes often use visualization techniques to mentally rehearse their performance and prepare for challenges they may face. Another key habit of Olympic athletes is their focus on deliberate practice. Clear explains that deliberate practice involves breaking down a skill into its component parts, practicing each part in isolation, and then gradually integrating the parts into a cohesive whole. He notes that this approach can be applied to any skill or activity, and that deliberate practice is essential for achieving mastery. Clear also discusses the importance of rest and recovery in the training and performance of Olympic athletes. He notes that many Olympic athletes prioritize rest and recovery in their training schedules, and that this allows them to perform at a high level consistently over time. Finally, Clear highlights the importance of accountability and social support in the habits and routines of Olympic athletes. He notes that many athletes work with coaches, trainers, and teammates to stay motivated and accountable, and that this can be applied in any area of life to achieve success. Overall, Chapter 13 of Atomic Habits provides insights into the habits and routines of Olympic athletes and how they can be applied to achieve success in any area of life. It emphasizes the importance of small habits, goal setting, visualization, deliberate practice, rest and recovery, and social support in achieving mastery and achieving one's desired goals. Chapter 14, The Habits of Successful Artists, and What You Can Learn from Them. Chapter 14 of Atomic Habits by James Clear is titled The Habits of Successful Artists, and What You Can Learn from Them. In this chapter, Clear examines the habits and routines of successful artists and how they can be applied to achieve creative success in any field. Clear begins by emphasizing the importance of showing up consistently and putting in the work to achieve creative success. He notes that successful artists often establish a daily routine or schedule and stick to it, even when they don't feel inspired or motivated. Clear then identifies several key habits and routines that are common among successful artists, including setting clear goals, establishing a regular practice, and seeking feedback and critique from others. He notes that successful artists often set specific, measurable goals and work towards them systematically, breaking down larger projects into smaller, more manageable tasks. Another key habit of successful artists is their dedication to their craft and their willingness to put in the time and effort required to improve. Clear explains that many successful artists practice their craft for hours each day, and that this dedicated practice is essential for achieving mastery. Clear also discusses the importance of feedback and critique in the habits and routines of successful artists. He notes that many artists seek feedback and critique from others in order to improve their work, and that this can be a valuable tool for anyone looking to improve their own creative output. Finally, Clear highlights the importance of experimentation and taking risks in the habits and routines of successful artists. He notes that many successful artists are willing to take risks and try new things in order to push the boundaries of their craft and create something truly original. Overall, Chapter 14 of Atomic Habits provides insights into the habits and routines of successful artists and how they can be applied to achieve creative success in any field. It emphasizes the importance of consistency, goal setting, regular practice, seeking feedback and critique, dedication, experimentation, and taking risks in achieving creative mastery and success. Chapter 15, The Habits of Billionaires, and What You Can Learn from Them. In Chapter 15 of Atomic Habits by James Clear, titled The Habits of Billionaires, and What You Can Learn from Them, the author examines the habits and routines of successful billionaires and how they can be applied to achieve financial success and abundance. Clear begins by emphasizing the importance of mindset and belief in achieving financial success. He notes that many successful billionaires have a growth mindset, which is characterized by a belief in one's ability to learn and improve. He also emphasizes the importance of creating a clear vision of one's financial goals and developing a plan to achieve them. Clear then identifies several key habits and routines that are common among successful billionaires, including setting clear goals, creating and following a daily routine, and seeking out mentors and role models. He notes that successful billionaires often set specific, measurable goals and work towards them systematically, breaking down larger financial goals into smaller, more manageable tasks. Another key habit of successful billionaires is their dedication to their work and their willingness to put in the time and effort required to achieve financial success. Clear explains that many successful billionaires work long hours and maintain a strict daily routine to optimize their productivity and achieve their financial goals. Clear also discusses the importance of seeking out mentors and role models in the habits and routines of successful billionaires. He notes that many billionaires have benefited from the guidance and advice of experienced mentors and that seeking out mentors and role models can be a valuable tool for anyone looking to achieve financial success. Finally, Clear highlights the importance of giving back and making a positive impact in the habits and routines of successful billionaires. He notes that many billionaires are involved in philanthropy and that giving back can be an important component of achieving financial success and abundance. Overall, Chapter 15 of Atomic Habits provides insights into the habits and routines of successful billionaires and how they can be applied to achieve financial success and abundance. It emphasizes the importance of mindset, goal setting, daily routine, dedication, seeking out mentors and role models, and giving back in achieving financial success and making a positive impact. Chapter 16, Conclusion, The Secret to Results That Last. In the final chapter of Atomic Habits by James Clear, titled Conclusion, The Secret to Results That Last, the author summarizes the key points and concepts presented throughout the book and offers a final perspective on the importance of developing effective habits. Clear begins by emphasizing the importance of viewing habit development as a continuous process rather than a one-time event. He notes that habits are not something that can be achieved overnight but rather require consistent effort and dedication over time. Clear also emphasizes the importance of focusing on the small, incremental changes that can lead to significant results over time. He notes that it is often the small, consistent actions that lead to lasting change, rather than the dramatic, one-time efforts. Clear also emphasizes the importance of understanding the role of identity in habit development. He notes that developing effective habits requires aligning one's behaviors with one's identity and values, and that the most successful habit changes occur when one's identity shifts to align with one's desired habits. Clear concludes by reiterating the central thesis of the book, that by making small, consistent changes to our habits and focusing on the process of continuous improvement, we can achieve significant results over time. He encourages readers to embrace the idea of continuous improvement and to view habit development as a lifelong journey. Overall, Chapter 16 of Atomic Habits provides a final perspective on the importance of developing effective habits and offers a summary of the key concepts presented throughout the book. It emphasizes the importance of viewing habit development as a continuous process, focusing on small, incremental changes, aligning one's behaviors with one's identity, and embracing the idea of continuous improvement.